right, what's going on, y'all? Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life, man, and we back like we on a parole violation. Yard down. Well, today we got something extremely special, man. We got one of the hottest, most fastest, most funniest new YouTubers, man, coming up. And so her name is CeCe, and I'm gonna let her introduce herself and all that stuff right there, man. Y'all definitely tune in and check her page out. Her page is called CeCe Reacts. Last week I looked, she was somewhere around 6,000-7,000. Now she didn't hopped up to about 15,000 and something. So she's funny, she's raw. You know, we gonna give her to y'all right now. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's good? First, I gotta say thank you, Chill, for having me on your platform. I appreciate you. I am a fan. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate
Likewise,
your down. That's my stuff.
likewise.
Now, my name is CeCe, aka Cecilia Robinson, aka CeCe. My channel is CeCe Reacts, and what I do is a story time, female prison story time. Outside of my story time, I'm an A&R for a record label. So I manage artists. I own digital marketing company and a management company. I also manage Freeway with Ross.
So you manage the original Freeway with Ross?
Yeah.
Okay, that's definitely interesting. So tell us, how did that come about?
I was filming a reality when I came home from prison or whatever. I was in a halfway house in Pittsburgh, and I had a job. I was like, I don't do this shit. You know what I'm saying? I
Right,
don't do
right,
this. I'm working at a pizza parlor. Bitches mad at me. They want to fight for the bottom. Nah, this is not what I'm about to do. I
right,
quit, took a chance on myself, said I'm gonna go ahead film this reality show. I know I'm entertaining. I know people gonna watch me. So I
right.
started filming a reality show called Bricks of an Empire.
Now, excuse me
I
real fast. Excuse me real fast. I hate to interrupt, but like I say, I've been watching your stories and stuff, and me already the little bit I know about you. I'm thinking you just didn't quit. How did you quit on their ass, CC? Did you?
I, oh, I no, I just didn't quit. I hit their ass. I hit their ass. I got some money from. Look. Check this out. When you used to having some shit, or like when you used to hustling and making some shit, and they forcing you to work these fucking jobs. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And you got bitches up in there and dudes up in there who used to. Goddamn, I'm gonna put all the pepperoni on the pizza. You want to argue with me over some motherfucking pepperoni? Not only that, I had people setting me up and shit like that. He tried to promote me to the manager.
right,
I got people stealing out the register and shit to set me up. Motherfuckers telling me that they call the manager asking them why you not cute like CeCe. You get mad at them motherfuckers, not me. You know what I'm saying? This is your life. This not mine. Let me get the fuck up out this establishment. So what
right.
I did was I cut my hours down and I start putting it in my head. Bitch, I've been hustling. I've been hustling for a very long time. If you ever gonna gamble on yourself. So I quit. I hit their ass. When I say I hit them for a few thousand. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pay some
Yeah,
bills and shit. I had some weed up in the fucking I had a few pounds put up. I say I'm finna work this shit off. I'm finna stack some bread and I'm finna keep fucking going. And that's what I did. I quit that job and on my own. When I quit that job, that was like the best shit ever. It's like God moved everything out the way. And I made maybe $40,000 from the time I quit that job, March 2nd.
uh,
And from March 2nd to December, I made about $40,000.
right. And like I say, just a few videos I've been watching of you. I know you just didn't quit. You always got some
Hell no.
funny going on and stuff. So sorry to interrupt you, but so you was telling us about how you had met Rick Ross, and I ran across him a couple of months ago at a little event they was having down here, actually. But go ahead. So, how did you meet him?
So when I quit that job, I was filming a show called Bricks of an Empire, which was my reality show showing my claim, how I was getting myself back on my feet from me getting out of jail and getting off parole and all this other good stuff. And It's a guy named Jimmy the Saint in Philly. Now I met Jimmy the Saint. I had a publishing deal back. I got my first publishing deal back in like 2006, 2007. And
Uh-huh.
Jimmy the Saint was one of the guys when I was out in Philly who, looked out. Now Jimmy, I don't know if you know who Jimmy the Saint is, but Jimmy is pretty big. He got a lot of books. He's a New York Times bestselling author. He's also one of the little American gangster type dudes. Long
Uh-huh.
story short, I hit up Jimmy and told Jimmy, yo, I'm home. But of course I had been home for a while. But I told Jimmy, yo, I'm home. I'm filming this little reality show. I need you to make an appearance. So I went out to Philly, sat down with Jimmy, and we filmed and shit. Jimmy was feeling what I was doing. So I get a phone call a couple of days later, like, hey, I want to introduce you to somebody. And it was Freeway Rick Ross. You
Mm.
know?
Okay.
So I hit up, he agreed to meet me. He said, well, when can you meet? I said, well, where you at? He said, I'm in Philly. He said, no, he said, I'm on my way to Philly. He was still in LA. He said, I'm on my way to Philly. I said, well, shit, I'm gonna meet you in Philly. You know what I'm saying? So I went there, me and my cameraman went down to Philly, you know what I'm saying? Picked Rick up from the airport and we did a little interview. And he said, I'm gonna agree to help you whichever way you need to be helped. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, cool. What I wanted to do at that point in time was put out another book. And I want to be the first person under his publication company. So I was going to set up his publication company and everything. So Rick tell me, he said, look, he said, I don't got no money to be invested in you. I told Rick, Rick, I don't need your money. I said, I got my own money. I said, I come and quit.
Right.
Rick
That's
said, I
right.
like the way you talking.
Yeah, most
I like
definitely.
the way you talking. So Rick is used to people giving him these ideas and shit or saying what they gonna do. What Rick is not used to people doing is really doing what they say they want to do. So 30 days later, I had a fucking book out. Rick said, you lying. I said, no, I'm not. Then the next couple of days, he was hitting me up, asking me, can I book some shit? And I started booking stuff left and right. And I started getting his finances in together, like
Uh-huh.
having people book him out for large sums of money. And
Right.
shit, we've been rocking ever since.
Man, that's definitely what's up. So, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you grew up at.
I'm from the south side of Chicago. I grew up on 71st and Yale.
Okay.
Um, shit, I became a teen mom. Teen mom. I've been hustling since I was maybe 12 years old. I'm a grandmother now, you
Mhm.
know. I have 5 daughters. I have several books out. I've written several books. I have a bachelor's degree, and I'm a felon.
Okay. And so that was gonna be my next question. So you said you had started hustling at the age of 12, and that was gonna be my question. How did you get involved in hustling?
How I got involved, my dad got sick. Listen, I'm not the type of chick who looked up to the ball players and the doctors and lawyers and all this other shit because that's not what I seen when I was growing up. I looked up to my dad. My dad was a well-respected man. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? My dad was a pimp. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So at any given moment, we had fucking hoes in the house. And my dad gave me a lot of fucking game. It is what it is. You
So
know,
you had an early introduction to the game and to the streets. Period.
Yeah, I really did. Now my dad, understand this, my dad, like far as like all the drug dealing and shit, that's not something my dad wanted. But my dad gave me plenty of game about these bitches.
Right.
And when I say that this is how I talk, so if you're a female, don't get offended, but this is how I talk. I mean, he didn't want me being another dumbass female out here. You know what I'm saying? He used
Mm.
to tell me what's the difference between me and a hoe. And it's like, well, one of his hoes, he'll point him out. I say, I'm small, they grown. He said, no, you can think. I'm a female who can
Right.
think, and God has placed me in a position to always be around men that are bigger than me. So I've always been around, well, I was always around guys who want to see me on my feet instead of my back.
Right. Okay. Most definitely. That's a little game out there for for the female listeners. And sometimes it's like that, because the streets is definitely hard and cruel, and we got to give our children and especially our daughters because they're more vulnerable the game and the education in order to think for themselves and stuff like that. So when did you first start getting into trouble?
I was a grown ass woman.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about a grown ass woman. The big case I had out in Allegheny,
Right.
that was my first case.
Uh-huh.
I went through my life. I was 31, 32 years old. I'm
And
40
so
right now.
so during all that time you had been hustling and just never encountered any trouble?
No, I never got in no trouble.
Mhm.
I've never look. I'm not one of those ones. Look, I kept like I'm a scammer. It is what it is. So I kept like far as selling the drugs and everything, it's like it's levels to this. As far
Right.
as selling the drugs and everything, I was doing that shit when I was a kid. When I got a little older, I started stripping and shit. You know what I'm saying? Selling the weed and shit up in the strip club and everything. While niggas paying bitches to dance, they paying me for their weed. You know,
Right.
I'm
Right.
supplying. I got on stilettos, thongs, bras, tops, and everything, but I'm supplying people with what they need. That was
So
my
you
thing.
so you was getting your money more ways than one up in there, huh?
Yeah, I'm not no fucking, I'm not no real stripper. The
Uh-huh.
hell. And then so after that, I started getting off into paper, like learning how to afford shit, learning how to create like school schedules. And I used to work at a school. So learning how to create school schedules for chicks who live in homeless shelters so they can get babysitting checks, learning how to create checks, the little shit, you know what I'm saying? And the shit
Right.
just got bigger, bigger, and bigger. Fucking with credit cards here and there, you know, seeing what I could get off of them, learning how to fuck with the Western Unions and the 1-800 numbers. And then I just graduated. I got
So
good at the shit.
so how much time did you end up doing actually when you got caught up on your big case as you call it?
I haven't talked about that yet, but the time I ended up doing was 3 years. But they
Okay.
gave me 10.
Uh-huh. And so, and like I said, in the event I ask you any questions you want to say for your stories, because I definitely want to say one thing, you smart, when I started doing it, I just started telling stories, and I like how you telling your stories in chronological order, which is extremely smart, so I definitely am a fan. I stay watching and tuning in. And so I heard you mention that you was on the run, and I was on the run
Oof.
also. So what was give the people checking us out a little insight on what being on the run is like.
Being on the run is expensive as fuck. You gotta
Real talk.
understand. Yeah, it's so fucking expensive. And then in my position, I was a breadwinner. When you making money on the outside, little shit like little jealousy and little hate and shit, you don't got time for that shit. You don't
Right.
pay attention to it because you don't need a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You start paying, you don't need a motherfucker. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? What the
real
fuck I
talk.
need you for? I'll slap
I'm the
your ass.
breadwinner.
Yeah, you need me.
Right.
You need me, Otis. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you. So why the fuck? I'm not paying no attention to you. I don't got the little slide slick shit. You know what I'm saying? If you buy a motherfucker a gift, how they look at it and shit, like they could have did better when in all reality they couldn't have done shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't pay attention to how motherfuckers come to you first. Instead of going to you become an ATM. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? But you got the money, so you don't pay attention to it. Now, when you on the run, you can't make no fucking money. You can't make no money, not the way you was making it, so you're not
Right.
used to it. And sometimes you got to sit all the way down. And
Right.
this is the part that's gonna get you because now you need a motherfucker. So when
Mhm.
you need a motherfucker, they gonna treat you like you the scum of the earth. They're gonna
Right.
be talking to you. A bitch will open her mouth and say some shit to you. That what the fuck you pull that out your ass at? Like
Yeah.
how long have you been feeling this way? You know what I'm saying? Your best friends, I like they don't know you, motherfuckers. You can't come over here. You
Right.
listen. You cannot come over here. Will be the most hurtful fucking words you ever, ever, ever heard. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm listening. I was at my best friend house, and she had a nigga over there. A nigga I ain't never seen before. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So this motherfucker come in and see me laying on the couch, and he go. I can hear now. Mind you, I'm not deaf. I can hear. This motherfucker tell her like, I thought you said she wasn't gonna be here no more. I don't want her here. And this motherfucker said, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna make her leave.
Right. Right.
This is my best friend.
And just to let you know, I'll be tuning into your stories. I heard you say it was on your birthday too.
It was on my fucking
Yeah.
birthday, and it's like you gotta understand when I spent $1,200 on my watch, I spent $1,200 on her watch. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? This is a motherfucker that been my friend for not 1, 2 years. I mean, damn it, 20 years.
Right. Right.
Like this, like that's a nigga you just met. Like how I had siblings. I had a sibling. I'm not gonna put that off on everybody. That just treated me like shit. Like motherfuckers made me want to turn myself in. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the type of bitch that want to need you. I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? Then
Right.
even niggas, I'm not the type of bitch who gonna use a dude to get what she want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you can't fuck me and I'm cool with you just fucking me and giving me some crumbs. That's not my life. I'm
Right.
used to providing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a provider. I'm a single mom. I'm
Right.
used to providing. And so the niggas, they know you in this type of position. So they're gonna try to use you every which way you can. They're gonna try
Right.
to use you up. I had a fucking father. You cannot use me up.
Right.
So
And you
I'd
know
rather
one
turn
thing.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, sorry about that. I was gonna say, and I know for me, because I was on the run for a year and I was selling dope out there in Montana and getting my bread too. And I know one thing that's hard about being on the run is, like you say, our income is not the same, but we still spending the same, because the way when you selling dope or you hustling, you getting paper, you make it fast, you spend it fast. And
Yep.
so that's a problem today. I still haven't been able to pull in my spending. So, that's another, I was gonna say that was just another big problem for me being on the run, because I still was spending money like I was stable.
Oh, listen, I had my children. Not only did I have my children, I had other people attached to my children that I had to take care of. I had to take care of me. I had a nigga who wasn't worth two dead flies. Had to take care of that. Oh, listen, and that was my biggest problem right there, holding on to this fucking nigga. Listen, I really, really, and it just is what it is. I really, really believe that at this point, you know what I'm saying? At this point, if we together and we not making sense, we don't need to be together. We need to be the fuck apart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Either you holding me down or you holding me up. The motherfucker was holding me up. You just a place filler. You know what I'm saying? And then what killed me is when the motherfucker turned around and started trying to talk shit about the motherfuckers I'm hustling with. You fucking that nigga. First of all, I knew him before I knew your raggedy motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? If I was fucking him and we getting this type of money, why the fuck do I need you? Be
Right.
realistic. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You worrying about the wrong motherfucking thing. Try to figure
Right.
out how to get in fucking position. Because the
Right.
shit you doing ain't working.
So let me ask you this. So what was it like? Because you was out there hustling and getting your bread, and like I say, anytime you want to tell a person to check your story out. But what was it like once you found out that you was on the you was wanted? Because you said you had never been to prison. So what was that? What was that like when you heard they was looking for you?
Oh, my heart was in my pussy. I was minding my motherfucking business that day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Look, it had been a weird ass month. I had been in Memphis for a whole month. You know what I'm saying? Just minding my business and getting me some cheddar. And I was
Right.
kind of salty. When you're hustling and your money ain't going the way you used to it, you have an attitude. I don't
Right.
know about everybody else, but when my money is funny, my pussy ain't wet. I don't give a fuck about your conversation. Ain't no good mornings around here, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
gotta make some shit work. I was in Memphis for a month hustling. I made a little something, but it wasn't what I wanted to make. It was not what I was used to, and I was feeling some type of way because the last couple of months had been iffy. It
Mhm.
had been iffy because we was getting our work from some different people and all this other shit. Now I had been in Memphis a month. You know what I'm saying? I come back to the crib. My crib at that point in time was in Philly, and when I get there, I get a phone call saying, "Hey, why don't you go up to Boston for a few minutes and go check that out?" Normally, I'm talking shit, I'm arguing. It wasn't like that day. I was submissive. I went on ahead. I'm the type when I don't want to do something, I'll argue with you.
Uh-huh.
I pick a motherfucking argument quick because I don't want to do it. But that day I was just like, all right, whatever, whatever, whatever. I went and got my kids early from school, so I could spend a little bit of time with them, knowing I've been gone a month and I gotta go back out to do some shit.
Right.
So I went and got my kids from school early, took them to get some shoes and shit, came back in, we ate, went to the movies, came back in. I tell my kids, I gotta bounce for a couple of days. I should say I'll be back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna leave. I'll be back tomorrow. So my oldest girl telling me like, "Mom, you just got home." You know what I'm saying? You just got home. I said, "Hey, in order for us to live the way we live, y'all to have lifestyle y'all have, this is what I do. This is my job." And that's me. If I'm investing in something, I'm invested. However it go, I throw $4,000 on the counter. That was for them to go shop. Money always make a girl feel better. I got number daughters.
Right.
When all reality, all they wanted was their mom. But I got my ass getting ready to get on this road. The situation, my driver pull up. We switch cars and shit. Go to Boston, have a decent day. When I got done, I was tired. I didn't want to get on the road again. So my folks called me like, "Well, okay, cool. Well, tomorrow, go ahead and do some more shit, and then I need you to pick somebody up from the airport and all this other shit." Cool. Hang up, give me some sleep. At 4:30, I talked to my folks. You know what I'm saying? 4:30 a.m. I talk to my folks. He's telling me what time this flight coming in so I can pick this person up. He's telling me how to switch out cars and well, go switch out cars, not how to switch out cars. Clearly, I know how to do this shit. He telling me go switch out cars and shit. Me and my driver, cool. 6 o'clock roll around. We at the airport just to show a shit stain. Pick the person up from the airport. You know, I go grab her car and she want to test out some work. She want to hit a few banks. You know what I'm saying? Now, all the time when I'm calling my folks back, he not answering the phone. You know, he not answering the phone. I ain't think shit of it. Long story short, we all get these phone calls. You know what I'm saying? My phones was ringing, crazy. But it's the dude who was calling me. I didn't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? He one of the type of dudes, me and him, we get into it easy because I'm not one of the type of bitch. Before I say that, they from Oakland. You know what I'm saying? It's something about the Oakland dudes that's sweeping down their pimps. You know, he's just swapping down. He was a bitch. He couldn't pimp me. You know, so I wasn't a good bitch. So me and him used to bump heads. Right. So he calling me and I don't want to answer. He called me that third time. I'm, yo, what's up? He tell me, he say, CeCe, where's your kids at? Now it's 9:30 in the morning. What the fuck you mean? Where's my kids at? You know what I'm saying? My kids at school. So all the time I'm thinking he needs to get up into my crib because I got a credit card machine up in there so he can make copies of the card. So he tell me, he say, CeCe, find out where your kids is and hang up the phone. Now, as a parent, as a mother, you don't want nobody calling you that's not another parent questioning you about your fucking kids. Right. So I'm calling my kids' phones and shit. And I'm like, damn, ain't nobody answering. Then I have to think, bitch, call schools. They in school. You know? So I call up to the schools, ask them, you know, is my kids in attendance? Yeah, who off the bell? Cool. I call my folks back. I say, my kids in school. I say, what you need to get into the crib or something? He say, man, the people got Fat Boy. That's my folks. I say, what? He said, the people got Fat Boy. And I look like when I get off the phone, he tell me, he said, these phones are tapped. You need to get rid of the shit. He said, you can't come back to your kids. He said, you need to get your kids to meet you in New York. And he hang up the phone. And like, that was the last I heard from him because we had to get rid of our phones. All our shit was tapped. I'm talking about when he hung up that phone call, that was like the longest pause in the world. And when I look around the car, everybody else on their phone looking like they had seen a ghost. You know what I'm saying? Looking like they had seen the whole ghost. So I was just like, damn. Now, I'm just saying it was real at that point, but it didn't get real until I got the somebody sent the newspaper, the news article, not even the article, but the news broadcast saying that I was on the run. I was wanted.